As we know, the Bhagavad Gita begins on a battlefield, but the true war it describes is not merely between two armies, it is the war of human existence itself. Sri Aurobindo called the Gita the most luminous scripture of the world, a scripture not of renunciation but of divine action. The mother added that its vibration carries the power to awaken inner courage even today. Think of your own life. How many times have you stood at a crossroads, torn between duty and desire, between comfort and responsibility, between fear and faith? In all those moments, you are Arjuna on the battlefield. The world outside is Kurukshetra, but the greater battlefield lies within. Sri Aurobindo insisted that the Gita is not only India's scripture, but a message for all humanity, for all time. The mother once said, "Whenever you face a battle within, open the Gita and you will hear Krishna's voice." And that is why in this video, we invite you to stay till the very end, because we are going to walk through the timeless wisdom of the Gita, guided by the thoughts of Sri Aurobindo and the mother. Arjuna's dilemma and our modern confusions. We all know Arjuna's dilemma as explained in the Arjuna Vishada Yoga of Gita. He did not see enemies, but family, teachers, and loved ones. He was paralyzed by compassion mixed with despair. Sri Aurobindo explains that Arjuna's crisis is symbolic of the human soul when confronted with life's responsibilities. Fear, grief, and doubt rise together, clouding clarity. The mother said, Arjuna's hesitation is the hesitation of humanity between what the soul knows and what the mind fears. Think of modern life. A doctor struggling to choose between a lucrative hospital job abroad or serving his village where his help is truly needed. A mother balancing her career and family, wondering if she is failing at both. A leader burdened by ethical choices. These are today's Kurukshetras. Sri Aurobindo emphasizes that Arjuna's weakness is not weakness of heart, but weakness of vision. He sees only the surface, pain, loss, conflict, not the deeper truth. The mother explained that unless we learn to see with the soul's eyes, life will always appear as a burden. When asked, "How can I overcome despair?" the mother replied, "You despair because you look with the eyes of the mind. If you rise above, if you listen to the soul, there is always a solution, always light." In Arjuna's paralysis, Sri Krishna speaks. His words are calm, steady, filled with strength. He does not condemn Arjuna for his despair. Instead, he awakens his deeper self. Sri Aurobindo interprets Krishna as the eternal presence within each of us, the inner guide, the indwelling God. He writes, "It is the divine within who takes the chariot of our life and drives it towards the highest truth." The mother added, "When you do not know what to do, listen quietly. Krishna is always whispering." How often do we ignore this whisper? In moments of confusion, instead of silence, we fill our minds with noise, opinions, and fears. The mother once remarked, "The divine voice never flatters, never frightens. It is calm, luminous, and always points to what is true." This is Krishna's role, not to make life easy, but to make life meaningful. The Gita teaches that action is inevitable. Even to sit still is to act. But action binds when it is driven by desire for results. Sri Aurobindo explains, Karma Yoga is not action for personal gain, but action for the divine work. The mother gave a simple example. Even sweeping the floor, if done with ego, becomes drudgery. But if done as service to the divine, it becomes an act of worship. Karma Yoga means to work without attachment, but not without care. It is action filled with attention, precision, and surrender, free from ego yet full of presence. Meditation in the Gita is not an escape from life, but a preparation for right action. Sri Aurobindo emphasized that the yogi is not one who abandons the world, but one who remains centered amid storms. The mother described meditation as standing like a mountain while winds of thought blow past. In today's noisy world, silence is rare, but even a few minutes of conscious stillness each day can anchor us in inner balance. The mother once said, "If for 10 minutes you can sit completely still, you will discover that you are greater than your mind, greater than your emotions. You are the soul watching." Sri Krishna revealed his cosmic form, the Vishwarupa. Galaxies, suns, and universes whirl within him. Arjuna was awestruck. Sri Aurobindo interprets this as the vision of truth that dissolves all separateness. The mother explained that even a glimpse of this vastness frees us from fear, because we realize that all is the divine. Sri Aurobindo insisted, the Gita is not a gospel of escape, but of conquest, conquest of the self by the self. The mother added that each inner victory, however small, is a victory for the divine upon earth. Every challenge, fear, anger, temptation, sorrow, is a test in this battlefield. If we fight with ego, we fail. If we fight with surrender to the divine, we rise. A disciple once told the mother, I feel like I am fighting endless battles within. She smiled and said, good. It means the divine warrior in you is awake. The Gita speaks of devotion as the soul's deepest path. Sri Aurobindo says, the secret of bhakti is to give oneself entirely without demand. The mother added, true love for the divine is joy. It does not calculate, it does not fear, it simply gives. Modern life often distorts love into possession, attachment, or dependence. The Gita shows that real love is liberation. To love Krishna, the divine, is to feel a joy that nothing can diminish. Sri Krishna tells Arjuna, better is one's own dharma, though imperfect, than the dharma of another well performed. Sri Aurobindo explained that this is not a call for rigid social duty, but for the discovery of one's swadharma, the law of one's own being, the unique path of the soul. Swadharma does not mean following the expectations of family, society, or tradition blindly. It means listening to the inner voice of the spirit, the silent direction of the divine within. The mother said, each soul has its own truth, and to live that truth sincerely is the greatest victory. A warrior's calling is not the same as a poet's. A teacher's way is not the same as a farmer's. To abandon your true work for another's path, no matter how glamorous, is to lose your own soul's rhythm. When Arjuna hesitated, Sri Krishna reminded him that his swadharma was to be a kshatriya, a warrior, not out of violence, but as an instrument of justice and harmony. In modern life, this teaching remains vital. The battles of the heart often come when we compare ourselves with others, when we feel compelled to imitate. Yet the Gita whispers that the highest duty is to be yourself, to follow your own inner law with sincerity. Sri Aurobindo wrote, the Gita is the scripture of the future. The mother said, its vibration carries the assurance of victory. The Gita teaches, act without fear, love without demand, know without doubt, meditate without escape. It shows that life is not a burden, but a battlefield where each act, each thought, each surrender brings us closer to divine fulfillment. The Kurukshetra of the Mahabharata has ended, but the Kurukshetra within us continues. Each of us is Arjuna, and each of us has Krishna guiding the chariot of life. If we listen, if we surrender, we too will hear those immortal words, arise, O Arjuna, and fight.